have covered about Excel templates. We learned about how we can use these templates for our flexibility. And then we learned about how we can actually make our own template as well. So we can use it for the later reference. Next is printing worksheet. So how we can see sheet and everything. Printing is very important once you are working into print. In that case, printing is very much required. How printing is required? So you have made your data and you need to represent your data to your team members, your manager. In that case, you need some prints on that. Why printing is very much important in Microsoft Excel? Whenever we are working in Microsoft Excel, we have normally huge data. So now the challenge is how you can actually have the huge data and you can come up with a good print. So it should be the readable with the users and everything. So this is our case. So what we can do, how we can start with the printing thing. Click on the file printer, and before that I assume that your system is already connected to printer, and only that in that case will work. You can search on the internet for that also. First you should have your printer connected with your device, and then you can have the correct option there. So you'll, if you click on the file print, you'll have the printer option there, Microsoft Print to PDF. It's not, the printer is attached here, that's why it is not coming. And then you can click on and see there are multiple options here. What are in the settings? So this is for the printer, this is for the number of the copies, this is settings, collated, portrait orientation, A4, normal margins, no scaling. So we'll cover everything one by one so that we'll be pro in printing to have the correct prints with our document. Choose from available printing options, page size. This is the size of the page what you want to have, correct margins, scaling. Notice the number of the pages in the print preview. This is the number of copies. So let's open a big data so that we can understand this. So I'll click on the open. In the open thing what I have here, I'll come back to the folders, and maybe in the week one I have a good data. I'm basically looking for a good amount of the data. I'll come back. Let me check with the week two. So this is a financial sample sheet. We already worked on that. So this is, I have a good data. So let's see what we can have in the print here. Now I'll click on file. So this is for this sheet. I'll come to maybe the first row. So this is my sheet. Now my requirement is that if I'll totally see how many columns I have, let me scroll it to the right side so we can see it. So this is still the P, and how many rows we have. Let me come down with the page down. You can see the scrolling of the Microsoft Excel. So total rows I have. How many rows? If you remember, this is the same sheet where we did the calculation, everything. We applied the sum, average, and the count function. So total we have somewhere 700 rows here, 700 data cell, or including the column headings, we have 702. In fact, the data is written here as well. So 706. So this is the output I need. Total P columns and 700 rows. This is my requirement to print the document. Now let's see what will be the default thing with the printer. Click on file, go to print. So once you click that, so this is, now you can see here 1 of 47. So if I'll click on this print, I'm not making any changes or doing anything here. I'm just clicking on the print here. That time what kind of output I'll get? This is coming in this print preview. Now you can see here segment, country, product, discount band, unit sold. I'll click on next. So this is again now the data set here. Data set is here. So this is for how many column? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what about the other columns? And see, this our calculation is coming. I'll go back. Calculation is coming on the 15th page. And if I click on the next, this is for the next column. So this actually divided into something. How a division is performed. How this is coming here. So this is according to the number of pages. So by default, what happens? Microsoft Excel divides the location into the pages. How we can see that? Let's see that also. So this is the default printing thing with the Microsoft Excel. It will print 47 pages. Of course, I'll not get it in a good output. This is not the correct way. We need to make the changes in the settings. Before that, I want to show you how it is making the changes. I'll come back and click on the view. In that view, I have a page break preview. So here you can see the number of pages. I'll make it up. So how 47 pages are coming. So this is pages. So this whole, you can see here dotted lines here. So this is page 1, and then it is coming page 2 from the down, then till page 15. So once page 15 is over here, and then this is page 17 again, page 17, and then page 19, page 20, 21, 22, 23, and the last I have which page number? We have the page number 31. 31 is the last, and then we again started with maybe 32. So page 32 is shown here, the smallest one. This is page 32. I'll make it zoom so that you can see it. So this is page 32, the smallest part. This is divided into page number 32. So that's why its output is coming like that, and total you can see page number 47. Now how you can make the changes here now? Once you hover this your mouse on this blue line, you can get this arrow. So you just need to click on and stretch it. I'll stretch it to maybe this side. So you can see that page number 1 increase, and this is page number 10. So let me have the complete columns here. So I'll click it to the last. So this is now page 1. I have done this. So how many pages now? Let me see with this. This time only page 6. Okay, I'll click on the normal and I'll go back to file and then print. Now how many? Yes, this is 1 to 6 pages. So you can see the output like something like this. So it might be possible now text size and everything it needed small. It might be possible you can't see is that. If it is not sophisticated with your requirement, you can make other changes as well. So first you need to set the number of pages, and then you can do the changes with your other of the settings as well. So how you can make those changes, let's learn that. I'll just come to this next. This I was talking about printer. So if your printer is already attached to your system, in that case, what you can do, you can choose the appropriate printer and then you can go ahead. I'll click on this I. So this is about the information. This is showing printer status. Status is ready. Type Microsoft Print to PDF. Where port format comment. This is with the Microsoft only. This is not the exact printer. Basically, it will only convert into the PDF. Now, this is something that you need to see. There are default option is print active sheets. You can choose print entire workbook. You can choose print selection. You can choose print selected table. So let me try first print entire workbook. You can see it here 53 pages. So how this is changed to 53 pages? Let me go to the next page, next page, next page. Let me come to something on the last. Now you can see it is actually coming some blank pages as well. Or maybe I can write here directly and come to 53 page. So I can see it what is happening here. By default it is happening. I clicked so many times. Now I'll write 53. I'll click on enter so you can actually see that. It actually printed everything on the sheet and it ignored the page number and everything and printed the entire workbook. So if I have the output, if this satisfies my requirement, I can go for that also. That is up to me. Or you can choose the active sheet as well. Only print the active sheet which you are working on. Then what is print selection? Now in the selection, nothing is coming. This is something that is not visible. Even if I zoom it, this is 15. I'll scroll it down and let me come to the same view. Page break preview. I'll click on view and page break preview. Now you can see here page 1, page 2. So same page 6 will be visible. This is about the selection talking about. Let me select only page 1 here. I can find the blue lines. So what I have with the blue lines here only. Now I'll click on file, print, and I'll click on print selection. Only print the current selection. So you can see it only page 1 is here. So this is up to you what kind of settings you want to do with the printer. You want to print with only active sheets, so that will print only the printing form of the that sheet is in the active format. You can have the printing for the entire workbook as well, so this will print automatically. You will not make any changes. In case of the selection, you can make the changes here. So you can actually select the data, only the selected data will be printed here. And similarly, you can select only the table as well. I'll click on that again. I'll get, so whatever table, so that part of a table is selected. So that is why now it is showing as a 6 pages, because that complete selection is for one table. So this you can choose it in the settings. Next, after choosing this, in fact, what you can do it, let me try this print active sheet. Now this is divided by default into the pages. We already talked about that. So total now we have 6 pages from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages we have. In this settings, I can actually choose what I have to print. So if you click on this, so you can write maybe from 1 to 4 pages I want to print. So this time I'll take, this is showing me 1 to 6, but when I'll take the printout, this printout will be from 1 to 4 pages only, not with the page number 5 and 6. So I can choose the pages as well from this settings, this printer settings, and go for particular page selection, and I can have the printout for only those selected pages. Next is collated. This is uncollated and collated. This is in the form of the sequential manner. If I'll go, you can see here this will be the output in the collated, and uncollated this can be the output in the form of 3 3. This is 1 1 2 2 3 3. So this is with the about the worksheet. So you can choose between two that by default, and in fact generic also this uncollated or collated. You need to pick which one. You need to pick the default one. This is 1 2 3 1 2 3. This is the in the sequential manner. We don't want to make any changes in that. Otherwise, prints will come in a ambiguity manner. So you can't make the sequence again. So it is better to do with the collated. And when we talk about the orientation, in that orientation, we have two different type of orientations available. That is portrait and landscape. So with this thumbnail, you can actually make the difference between the portrait and the landscape. Portrait looks like this and landscape looks like this. By default, the orientation is portrait. Now you can change it to landscape as well. I'll click on the landscape. See, in the landscape, I have the output like this. So I click on that. Now I have total how many pages? 8 pages. So this is with the landscape. Now you can see that this output is not so visible. Can I make it zoom? Yes, we can do that, and we will learn about that also. Next is the margins thing. So before that, let me show you how I can make it zoom. So I'll click on page setup. We have left with the margin and the scaling. Then we'll come to other things as well. See, we have already clicked on file, print with I have the screen. After clicking that, I'll coming to page setup. In that page setup, I have four options to do. This is page, margins, header and footer, and then sheet. So what I have in the page, this is adjusted to the scaling of 35% to the normal size. Let me make some changes. 40, 45, let me make it 55. I'll click on OK. You can see this output. Now this is 24 pages. So something again happened. I'll click on the page setup. Let me make it to the 50%. I'll click on that. This is 22 pages now. Maybe I am missing some columns. So I'll go back to the page setup. Let me make it 45 this time. I'll click on OK. So this time again I'm missing something. So let's do it. This is hit and trial. Let me make it to 42. You have the output like this. So this is now you need to decide between the sizes and the pages what you can do. From that page setup, you can actually make the changes with the adjustment of how many computation you need to do on the normal size. So this, in fact, you can choose the this orientation here also from the page. You can go for portrait and the landscape, and then you can do the scaling as well. You can choose the paper size. Paper size is available by default. We use letter, and it is advisable also to use letter. Other options we have tabloid, legal, statement, executive, and A3. A3 printing is also common here. Print quality you can go for 600 dpi, and if your system is older, it can be something else also. First page number, it should pick auto. And then we have something with the margins as well. So margins you can set from here as well, and you can set from the page setup as well. The scaling and margin we need to cover. In the scaling and margin, first we talk about the margins. So what we have in the margins now, this is the space around the pages or around your content. So by default, what we have in the changes, we have left with the 1.8, top with 1.9, header is 0.8, right is 1.8, bottom is 1.9, footer is 0.8. So header is in the top, footer is in the lower size of the page, and this is other margins. So you can now increase it similarly for the right as well, increasing, decreasing, top as well, increasing, decreasing. In the same we have for the bottom as well, decreasing, increasing, header as well, footer as well. You can go for the center on the page, horizontal center. You see the output here. If I click on that right now, this output is something like this. If I click on horizontal, it will go like this. If I'll go like this vertical, it is shifting. If I uncheck horizontal, this is coming like this. You just see the changes again here. I'll click on the horizontal. So output is like this. If I click on the vertical, output will be like this. So center of the page is automatically done by this. So this is horizontal and vertical. So you can choose according to your requirement what you want to do with this Microsoft Excel printing option. So this is about the margins. So you can set your own margins as well. You have something specific in your mind. You want to make it 2 in all the directions. Let me try this. So I'll make it 2.0 here, 2.0 here. I can make it 2 again here. Footer, let me give it footer as well 2.0. Right direction as well, I'll give 2.0. So this is my output. So I'll get some changes like this. Let me make this time some more margins here. Let me make it 20. Let's see what happens in that case. 20 with everything. So of course this is a very big margin, but let's try what happens with this. So I'll give it 20 here. Footer as well, I'm giving 20, and then center for everything. Margins do not fit page size. See, Microsoft Excel is too smart to check that what we are doing here. I click on OK. Let me try something else. Instead of 20, let me try this time maybe 10. Whether 10 is allowed or not. I'll click on 10. I'm coming with the tab here. 10, 10 in every case. 10 again, 10 again, and I'll click on OK. This is the output. Now you just see the number of the pages. 303. We set the margin something like this. I'll come to the next page, see the output. This is the output coming. Now you just see if this fits your application, you can go for this. Otherwise it is wrong. I'll come to the margins here. 2 was working fine, so I'll come as 2 for everything, and then I'll make the changes here. In the header and footer, let me make it 1 again here. So see, if when you're clicking on the footer, the screen is something like this. This arrow, you can see this arrow is here. If you're coming to bottom, so this is the bottom one. From there also you can understand what kind of margins are set here. When I click on left, the scale is here. When I click on right, the scale is here. If I click on top, this scale is here. If I click on header, this is scale is here. So this is the things here that is coming here. Let me make it 1 again. So this is the changes I did here, and horizontal, vertical, whatever output I want to have, I can have that. Let me choose it like that. What we have in the options now, orientation only. We can choose any orientation, and if I click on some advanced here, let's see in the what we have in the advanced. So this is paper size again. Paper size, you can choose it. It is from outside also, and copy count as well. Right now it is 1 copy. You can make changes as, let me make it 5 copies. So it is not changeable from here. You need to change it from the outside, where I'll just show you. I'll click on the cancel. So if I click on OK, this will my default margin. So this is the changes now. You can see here 9 pages total. So copies you can increase or decrease from here. So it means If I click on this 5, I total have 9. So 9 multiplied by 45, I'll have total 45 pages into the printing. And so each 9 page I'll have the 5 copies. So that is why 9 multiply 5 is equal to 45 pages. I'll get it. So this is with the number of copies. So same margins we have set here. You can set the margins from there also. Last margin setting was top 2 centimeter we did. So this was this last setting we did. And in the normal, this is the setting. Wide we have narrow this. Let me click on the narrow. This will be the setting for the margins. I'll click on the wide. This will be the setting for the wide margins, and narrow is something this. If I click on the custom margins, I'll come back to the same page which I got it before. I could have gone it from this side as well. This time margin you'll get it the same changes if you can make it. So this is with the page. Next comes to the custom scaling. What we have in the scaling, so what we have the option no scaling, fit sheets on one page, fit all columns on one page, fit all rows on one page. So let me go for no scaling. So once I'm doing no scaling, it will print it into the actual size. So this is now total 44 pages. This is my requirement. If I go with this, I can go like that. The other is fit sheet on one page. Let's see that. So this is the output now. This made it like this. Next, fit all columns into one page. This time I am getting some 12 pages. So let's see the output. So this kind of is the output now. 12 pages. So this is the number of columns that comes into one page. Okay. What is the other option now? Fit all rows on one page. So again, this absorbs output is given. So whether it fits or your requirement, it depends on your data set. How big is your data? Accordingly, you choose the exact printing option here. If I click on custom settings here, this page will appear. Now let's cover this page again. So we have total 4 options available here. One is page, margin, header, footer, and sheet. In the page, we can choose the orientation, portrait, and the landscape. Scaling is to adjust. See, now you have choose the shrinking. This is 10% and you can't make any changes as well. So this is fit to pages wide, one tall. The setting comes by this shrinking. I'll come to adjust. Let me make it now 50% of the normal size. I'll click on OK. So I'll get back my output like this. But again, this is on first page. Some output is coming for very few rows or something like this. This is on the second page. So this I need to change. So this is with the page number as well. I'll go with the page setup again. So then the orientation in the page setup, we have orientation. We can go for portrait or the landscape. It is our requirement. Then in the scaling, we can choose to particular scaling to the normal size. We can go for 100% as well. But it is about our data. If it fits to 60%, 50%, we can go with that. You can go do the fitting to any particular changes also. You'll go to fit to. So you have something like this pages per wide by tall. So this is about the scaling. So you can make the changes from the scaling here. Paper size, we have letter, tabloid, legal, statement, executive, A3. Print quality by default is 600 dpi for all the newer system. In the older version, it can be changed. First page number will be auto. In the margins, we can set the margin for the left, top, header, right, bottom, and footer. Center on the page, you can do it here. In the options, you can have the orientation and the portrait. If I'll click on the advanced, this is copy which you want to choose. I'll click on the cancel here, cancel again here, page setup again. Now comes to header and footer. Let's understand the header and footer very carefully now. So header is basically what is shown in the heading of that particular page, and the footer is on the top bottom side. We have already seen it in the margins as well. I'll click on that. So you just see footer is like this, header is like this. So let's come to the header and footer. Now this is header and footer is by default is none. None is selected here, so you can make it changes. Let's come to what options we have. Page 1 of main data, HP confidential, 2201 page 1, financial sample. These are the some examples what you can choose for So let's cover one by one. So first is page one. If I click on this page one, let me click that only, page one, and I'll click on OK. And from the scaling part, let me choose no scaling this time. Now, on this print preview, can you see this in the header? Page one is written. How this page one has come up here? I'll go back to next page. This page 2 is coming here. So in the printing as well, you will get this thing. How it is coming? It is coming with the headers. Let me go to the 44 page number. So page 44 is already there. How it is coming? It is coming with the header. Let's try some other header as well. I'll click on the page setup. Click on the header. Let me go for something else now. Page 1 of question mark I am choosing. We will see the output and then we will understand what is happening with this option. I'll click on OK. Now, can you see the difference? Page 44 of 44. So from the total it has told. Page 1, you can actually see here. Now, total you have 44 pages. From those pages, you can actually know how many total pages you have. And this is which part. So this is like of indexing. Let's try any other format of header. Let's see what we have in the third. This is main data. This was the name of the sheet. Name of the sheet, if I'll show it you again, this was the sheet name. So I can print the sheet name as well. Let me go back to the print. In that print, I'll go to page setup, and the page setup, I have the header and footer. So you can choose the header and footer according to your requirement. We'll cover the footer as well. Let's understand what options we have. This is something with the system. This is HP confidential. Let me click that also. Let's understand this. So you'll get see. This is very important. Now, this is divided into three forms. HP confidential, this is date, and this is page. I'll come to 44 page. So you'll get a output it like here, HP confidential, date here, 44 here. So if I'll open this system tomorrow and I'll take the printout, this 23rd January will come. I'll click on page setup again, header and footer. In the header and footer, let's try any other option we have. So this was the third option we tried. This is financial sample is the name of the sheet. Okay, this is exact path where this sheet is there. This is main data and page one. Main data HP confidential and page one. These are the different combinations we have. Financial sample page one. Again, the path plus the page number is coming, page number and the name of the sheet, page number and the name of the workbook or name of the Excel sheet, page number and the path. This is some other name is coming here, prepared by Patrick Brumgard. This sheet was prepared by some guy. This name, so this name is coming here. If I have, I can keep my name as well here. HP confidential. So this is all the basic templates this is provided by here. Now you can customize as well. Custom header. Now what you want to have it. So this was actually the sample you have chosen here. So let me choose any other sample. Let me go with this. This is the sample here. I'll click on the custom. Now left side, right side and page selection. So from left side, what I want to have maybe skill link. Okay. In the center, I want the page number only. So I will not change it. In the right selection, I want the path as well. Okay, let me click on OK and I'll click on OK. So I'll get this output skill link, page number, and this path is big. So that is why it's coming the big size. Let me try anything else also. I'll go back to header. So this time, let me choose something with the date. So this is the date. I'll customize this. Instead of this HP confidential, now I require skill link. And in the center, I have the date. In the right, I have the page. In fact, you can read in the description as well. To format text, select the text and then choose the format text button. To insert a page number, date and time, file path, file name or tab name, position the insertion point in the edit box. How you can do that? So maybe I want page number on this side. So this is for the text. If I click on A, so I can do the changes. Let me make it color maybe red. And I'll click on OK. For before that, let me select this so I can make the changes. Let me make it red again here and I'll click on this. Now this time this is red. For this also I can make it maybe blue, some version of blue. So this is here. Let me make it with any other style as well, so I can change the changes. You can see the preview here. So seal walk, semi bot, light. So I made it something like this. I can make it strike through. I don't want superscript. I can make it subscript. So this is my choice. Normal font. This, if I uncheck this, I can make the changes here. So I'll go back with some other style. So I selected this. I can change the size as well. I can change the color as well. I'll click on OK. So this is here, date. Similarly, for the page number also, I can make the changes. Let me only change the color here. Rest of the changes you can do with your requirement. Let me change the size as well. I made it 14. This is true type font. The same font will be used on both your printer and your screen. Okay. So I have the output here. Now if click on this, this is for inserting page number. So instead of date, let me delete this. I'll put it like this. This is page number. I clicked on my cursor, I kept my cursor there, and in the center selection, what I did, I actually clicked on the same icon and I got the output like this. Similarly, I want this page number. So, page number, insert number of pages. What you can do with this. Insert date, you can do with insert time as well. So, let me choose here insert number of pages. We already done here. So let me delete this and let me come to the date. Let me come to the time, and this is file path. Maybe I don't require this time. File name, I don't require this time. Insert sheet name, I don't require this time. Picture, in fact, I can go with the picture also. Let me see if I have something in my system, or maybe from the Bing I can search it. Let me go with the balloons. In the balloons, I am getting maybe this. Let me click on insert. So this picture is already here. Now the other option is format picture. If you want to do some formatting, you can do it here. So this is about changing the size of the picture. You can change the margin, cropping thing, controlling thing. You can do brightness and contrast. You can set, you can compress the picture, alternative text you can give. This all you can do. So what options we have? We will revise this once again. I'll click on OK and let's see the output first. So this picture is so big that footer is overwritten here. I can't see anything. Skill link is here, page number is here, date and time is here, and picture is overwritten here. So we need to make the changes with the size of the picture. I'll go back to header, custom header, and then this picture, I'll come to picture format. This height is this, width is this. Let me do the scaling to maybe 10%. 10%. Let's click on OK and OK, OK. So we got something like this. So you can make changes like this. So if I come on this page, this will display will be like this. It is not required if I want to delete it from that picture. I'll go back to custom and I'll click on this picture and delete this. So this time only date and time is there. I'll click on OK. So output will be like this. So header you can decide. Similarly, in the same manner, we can go with the footer as well. Footer works in the same condition. The difference is that I'll show with the margins. So header is here and footer is here. So let's come to the footer now. None for this time. What are in the options? So you can go for the page number, main data. So all those same examples you can have it. So now it is your case what you want to do. You want to have all this output in the header or in the footer or in the both. Maybe you can write skill link in the top in the header and the page number you can give in the bottom. And similar manner, time you can give in the bottom and date you can have in the top. So it is your decision what you want to have in the header and footer. If you don't want to have it in the header and footer, in fact you can go with that also. Otherwise, if you want to have it what you exactly want to have it, it's your choice. So choosing this, maybe for this time, I'll click on page one and main data. I'll click on OK. So that only you can see the output. So this is the footer thing. So this will be in all the pages. You don't need to do it separately. It will be done by the Microsoft Excel only. I'll come to page setup again in the header and footer. We have other options as well. If I click on that, different odd and even pages, let's understand this. Now you can see that page 33, then it is blank. and then page 35. So this is the output like this: odd and even setup. By clicking on different odd and even pages, if I go for the different first page, in that case I'll come to the first page. So page 1 is not having any number, page 2 is not having number, so page 3 is coming here. So this is the difference here. So it has provided some changes here. So what was in the left, and it has not provided the margins here. So normally we don't do this. So scale with the document, yes, it is allowed. Alignment is allowed. So this is suggestible. If you uncheck this, so it will disturb the scaling and the alignment of the document. So this is about the header and the footer. You can customize the header as well, you can customize the footer as well in the same. So this is for in the footer we are getting some other options as well. In the header also, this is odd page header and even page header, so you can have different page headers also according to the odd numbers and the page numbers. So this again setting is, it is up to you whether you want to do it or not. So this is your choice how you want to customize your headers and footers. So once you click on the sheet, in that sheet, you can select the print area and you can go with the print titles as well. Some other options are there. So this is very advanced. This is not required. In fact, you can have a good printout with all that we have covered till now. And then one more thing, in the view, you have three basically layouts. So now you can see the grid lines as well here. Let me go to the page break preview. You can see the page numbers here. If you click on the page layout, now you see this output. So this will be the form of the pages now. All are into different pages. So this actually you can see how your output will come: page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and similarly it was for total. How many pages? It was for maybe 9 or 10 pages. So the output is coming here. So this is the total output you are getting in the printing area. So this is about page layout, workbook views. You can see if I go to page break preview, so you can see this page 2 is very small here. So let me make the changes here. So what we can do, so total I have 65 rows here. Similarly, or let me make it 100 by 100 set, or what I can do, I can make the changes like for 50 row I have page 1, then for 100 I have another page. So something like this can be done. Or what I can do, let me make it to 80 again. Page 1 is with the 80 again, so let's do it 80. Or let me scroll it down. So I'm shifting here. See how your blue line is scrolling up, then your page number is changing up. I will make it 80 for page 1, and 80 multiplied 2 is 160. So similarly, I can make it 80, 160, and all those options, and then 240, and same changes I can make it. And in the page layout, we can cross check it with the data. So same output you will get it. In these all combinations, you can have exact printouts with your laptop attaching the printer, but that is the condition. So this grid lines are shown here. I'll uncheck it again. See, this is grid line is unchecked here. If I click that, then you can see this grid line. Formula bar. So I can actually uncheck that. So these grid lines are shown here. But for the printing thing, what we need to require, we don't need to do other changes here right now. There is no requirement to understand that. For the printing purpose, you need to be aware about the normal view, page break preview, and then page layout, and you can choose it. And by default we work on the normal page. You can see the page break preview with this, and there you can set all the pages here. Page layout is for the all exactly setting how you can see it in the printer format. This is all about printing, and then we can, after dividing into exact number of pages, we can go with the print, and then you can go ahead by printing option after choosing the exact thing what is required for your setup, whether it is printer, whether it is number of copies, whether it is the active sheet or some kind of selection you can do. You want to go for landscape or portrait orientation, you can go with particular set of letter size, and then margins you need to decide what kind of margins is required, and then shrinking of these pages, and most importantly header and footer you can decide. And you can choose the margins, you can choose the orientation, you can choose the scaling from that page setup option as well. And after setting everything, what just you need to do, you just need to do on the print. Let me try on this my system. Right now I have selected this settings, and now my laptop printer is not attached. So by default I'll get the printer option is for Microsoft Print to PDF. Let me click on that print and let's see what happens. So it is saving the print output as, you see the save as type .pdf. Let me click on the desktop. Here I am writing the name here, print template, maybe print temp, and I am clicking on save. After clicking on save, you'll get this window. This is already done. Let me come back. So this is a PDF format of whatever settings I did that time. The another option is that if you need to create PDF from your document from Excel to PDF, what you can do, you can click on file, save as, you can give up maybe this financial sample again. From that extension, you need to choose PDF. I'll click on the PDF and then I'll click on save. Let me save it to some other place. I'll save it to the desktop only and I'll click on save here. So this you can see publishing. So once this is done, now you can open that sheet. Again, the setting is from the printer only. So whatever setting is from the printer, that setting will be printed here in the PDF format. If I'll go with some other setting with the print, I'll go with maybe landscape orientation, or maybe I'll set it to all columns, or let me do it no scaling this time. No scaling, some 46 pages is there. You just remember that we have total 46 pages there. Now I'm clicking on the print option. This time, let me override this with the same name. Save. Yes, do you want to replace it? Yes, I'll want to replace it. Now printing. Printing is done. This time you are actually getting how many pages? 1 to 4. Why it has happened? Because I selected some 4 pages. Let me show it. Here only I selected 4 pages. That is why it happened. So let me select all 46 pages here, and now I am clicking on the print. This time again I'll replace this document to see what are the changes is done. See, total now it is taking more time because this time I am printing 46 pages. So let me open that document again. See, now total 46 pages we have. This is the output. And if I correct, you can see the header and footer as well. And last time we did the setting for the odd and even number. So that is why I'm getting the output like this. And footer is also there with the mean data. So whatever was the last setting in the printer, that is coming in the PDF. So this is all about printing.